I just realized I never gave a walk around of the car how it was before. So what I'm gonna do is put a couple pictures up here of what the car looked like before I got it. Well, when I got it, and then we'll go from there. So when I got it, the front bumper was off and it basically had no engine. The engine came apart. It was a KAT powered car. And basically I was just like, I'm not going with that setup. It was reported to me that it was a Q45 rear diff. Come to find out it was just a S14 VLSD, which I sold that. Had a one-piece dry shaft, I think some short shifter and the ISR turbo kit. I think he said he made around like 300 horsepower and he believed it was a head gasket issue, so the engine was apart. And at that point I was like, okay, if I'm gonna try to put it back together, you know, not necessarily the cheapest way, but the most like reliable way, not trying to, you know, spend crazy amount of money. I'm like, it's still gonna take me a while, and I like to go all out on my builds because if I'm a rabbit hole kind of guy. If I'm in there, I might as well do everything I can before putting it back in. Hence why the S14 is looking the way it is now. Was not supposed to be a full restoration project, but unfortunately that's exactly how it turned into, because I'm just like, I am not doing this again. Even though I enjoy it, I'm just like, since I'm here and it's a part, we might as well do it. So basically I'm in the stages of prepping the car. I'm gonna send it to my boy. He has a body shop, and what they're gonna do is basically sandblast the underside. They're gonna do a wrap the lining to the underside, and I'm just gonna tell them just sand the engine bay, because I do want to stitch weld, and here there is a little bit of rust issues here, so I'm gonna stitch weld that, take care of that. So basically, yeah, I got the car, it was apart, and I just been kind of taking care of like, well, tearing it down and just getting everything ready to, you know, send out for that whole print process. So the only things that I did so far, I just have to weld it, is change the headlight brackets. So that just has to get welded on, and that's going to be it. As far as the front, I'm just taking apart the harness. I actually just decided yesterday that I am going to go with a new chassis harness, because with the VQ engine that I am taking from the S13 project and putting it here, because I have the VK56 for that, I am going to do a custom harness. I really wanted to stay OEM harness because I ultimately wanted to run AC. I wanted all the lights to still function, and it just seems easier to just basically do all the new wiring. So luckily this harness of this car is pretty intact. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 wires, and that's mainly pertaining to lights. And there was a couple wires, I think it had an alarm, but I was able to just splice them and put them back together. So most likely I probably did that for no reason, because I'm going to get the chassis harness from Wiring Specialties. I just want to talk them over to see if it's actually doable with my plans. And if that's not the case, if they can't develop it, then I'm just going to have to learn how to do it myself and go fully custom. But my main concern is I really would like to use the OEM, like a turn signal and the wiper stock. So hopefully I can still get that done, and yeah, that would be amazing. I really don't want to use a keypad for that, because I just feel like if you're driving and you got to reach over, you know, do this and that just to turn the turn signal on, that seems pretty annoying. I haven't done it, but I really don't want to do that. So we're gonna see with that. So anywho, this is the walk around. It's very clean. Do want to say this is probably another rust issue that I have with the car. I did have a front mount intercooler, and it just seems like, you know, they did a kind of a terrible job of cutting for clearancing purposes and protecting it. So I'm just going to most likely just shave that down, you know, get rid of the sharp edges, and then, you know, that's going to be wrapped in liner. Some of the areas I fixed some of the threads, so this is why the bolts are here. I do have a bunch of zinc coated bolts. I have a new subframe that I just got from Drift Cave. Well, it's my extra subframe, and it's rack relocated, so, you know, be on the lookout for that. I have a bunch of that. So I have all the front and rear hardware done, zinc coated. Very expensive. It's close to, I think cost me about $1,000. So I'm not too happy about that, but at least in the long run, I know it's protected. So as far as the front, I did pick up a USDM Kouki bumper, and it came with the JDM OEM bumper. So hopefully I can find a JDM lip for that for that front bumper because it is expensive. But I'm probably just gonna go with a replica because it's a lip. Plan on having this car low, but not too low. But you know, if the lip is most likely prone to get damaged, so probably just gonna go with a rep lip because of that. But anywho, so suspension basically gonna be, I'm gonna take my Fortunatos. From that, it's 510s. I already contacted them. They're gonna be upgraded to 520 CRs. I believe they're called Club Racers, and I think it's like a two-way system because I do plan on taking this car to every single type of event I can get. The most seat time I can do, I'm gonna do it. So it's most likely not gonna be a drift car. Definitely will take it to drag and drive events and whatnot. But last thing I need to do, well, I just need to take off the booster system. It's going to a manual brake system and figure out how to hide the harness. I'm almost just about done taking the harness out, but I decided to drop this video. So yeah, other than that, yeah, original Kouki, 97. Let me see. I think it was green before. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if, I believe they came in that green. I forgot what color it is, but definitely have to get a new driver's side taillight. This one is cracked. So before I restore it, I do have a new emblem. Somebody recreated it. I found them on Facebook Marketplace. So they're gonna help me out with that. And it's virtually clean. Like that's one of the main reasons I traded it for the E36 M3, because the potential of how clean this car is. Yeah, some of the heat shielding and whatnot is, you know, a little bit rusty. There is some rust here on the rear bumper support, but that's nothing. I'm pretty sure I can just, you know, shave that down and get it. This is all surface rust, so, you know, no big deal. So that's pretty good. Let me go over. I do want to see if I can fix the pinch welds. So definitely want to get that done. Did make a little mistake. Let's see if I can get it right here. When I had the car, when I was taking out the front subframe, I had the jack points there. And I think I had the jack points over here. And as soon as I dropped the front subframe, car just tilted. So, you know, lesson learned. A little sad about that, but I'm pretty sure maybe I can eventually send it to some type of fabricator and they can fix that for me and see if I can get some new frame rails. So yeah, other than that, the car is virtually like rust free. It's so clean, so clean. So definitely have to get that, fix the pinch welds, and yeah, some of the, on the driver's side, some of the bolts basically got messed up, so I'm gonna ask the body shop if they can fix that. You know, mainly all I need them to do is just drill out the hole and just straighten it up, and that's about it. This little rust here, I had it on another side, so doesn't seem too bad, but I'm hoping there's really nothing behind it because I just don't want to do this whole drilling it out and take it out. Have to do that on the S13, so I'm gonna try to teach myself, but that might be the reason I sell the car, but hopefully nothing crazy. But yeah, so basically this car is going to get a, oh, actually let me show the interior. Interior, what you guys are gonna see, it's very clean, and I did a whole detail except wipe down the dash. It was dusty. I did wipe it down before, but as a let me get that going. All right, well, you guys get the picture. So basically it's pretty clean. I had re-dyed the seats, but I used, I think it's Rit dye, and I feel like you guys are gonna see in the video, it did look a lot darker at first, but maybe I'll probably send it to a upholstery shop eventually later on in the years and, you know, get that professionally redone. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much there. There are some people still selling this, and I think you can still get it from Nissan brand new, some of the parts, but we'll see. But yeah, do need to get a new gauge cluster. I think it's cracked. I forgot why do I have to get a new one. Not totally sure, but had the short hub from our Boss. Is it Boss? What is that company again? Oh my goodness. Works, is it Works Bell? I said Boss. Yeah, I think it's short bus hub. That's probably why. But yeah, Works Bell, short hub. Waiting on my key steering wheel. It's been like half a year so far from a tollgate factory. Still waiting on that. Stupid tariffs making, you know, a minimum order that you have to get them. So that's annoying. The seats did have, I mean, the car did come with Recaro SR2s, I believe they were. But the previous owner did say, like, if I didn't need them, can he keep them and put them in M3? So I said, okay, you know, no biggie. They did feel pretty good, but I was like, all right, you know, I'll just get some seats later on. Gonna do a sunroof delete, gonna do a carbon roof, but once again, I'm not too worried about it now since I am going to change the color of the car. So once that happens, I'm gonna send it to my boy again, have them do that for me. And then at that point, I'll try to paint the car, and I'm gonna try to do it myself. So because the price of getting a car painted, to me, it's just not worth it. Like, I'm hearing some people are saying, like, on the cheap side, you know, 8,000. A good quality side, I mean, price is like 10 to 12,000. Then I heard some people paying up to 15 or 20,000. And I'm just like, I don't know what happened to getting cars painted, but I remember back in the day when I was a kid, which, you know, whatever, 15, 16 years ago, you know, you can get a whole car painted for 2 to 4,000 and it came out, you know, good quality. But I guess prices rise, labor rise and whatnot. So, but anywho, so long story short, it's going to get the built engine, VQ, all motor, ITBs, most likely Motec. Let me see what else. I do have my 350Z diff that I have to get built. I just have to get most likely I'm going to get a OS Geiken rear LSD for that. Going to get a 4.3 final drive. I love to shift, so I don't mind having a low top speed because once again, this is not a drag car. This is not a car that's trying to break records in a half mile or the quarter mile. So I wouldn't mind a car with a 160 or 170 mile per hour top speed. I think that's what it's supposed to be when I geared it out with the 350Z transmission. I think it's probably going to be around, I think it's between 175 to 183. And I don't plan on ever hitting that. So I'm good with that. So yeah, 4.3 final drive. Obviously, let's see, one-piece drive shaft. Let's see, built engine, VQ37. I have basically the OEM stroker kit. I have the VQ37 crankshaft that I have to send out for WCP treatment. So it's going to be basically the Nissan OEM, I guess, a stroker. I wanted to go with the billet crank, but for basically 3,800, I think it was, 35, 33, whatever. I'm like, you know, do I want to have this car sitting for another year and some change, or do I just, you know, get the WCP treated crank and just keep the red line under like 8,500. So hoping to safely have the red line between 82 to 8,400 RPM. I feel like that would be amazing. If it can stay at 8,500 and live for as long as it can, great. Then again, I don't plan on revving this car all the time to that. You know, obviously tuning and whatnot will, you know, deter what's the correct rev limit. But it would be nice to hear this car between 82 to 85. Let's just say around there. So yeah, built engine, transmission obviously is going to be stock because it can handle it. Probably just get the carbon synchros, you know, just to have a little bit of a bulletproofness to it, and send some of the gears to get WCP treated. And let's see, as far as brakes, I do have Akibonos, and I'm going to get gyro disc 2-piece rotors. So I just need to get the rotors for that. Suspension, it's going to be basically GK Tech drop knuckles, power brace, SPL arms, and let me see, that's about it as far as steering and suspension. Rebuilt steering rack from, oh my god, I think it's Sparky, so I'm going to send that out. And then custom exhaust headers, I'm going to try to do myself, design it myself, do end canal headers, and you know, try to make this one of the best sounding VQs ever. But yeah, you know, sorry for this little rant. It's going on, I think, 15 minutes. So I don't know if I might make this video separate or included in the video. But yeah, I'm probably going to just drop that and, you know, go from there. So yeah, as far as, interior, it's going to be Recaro RSG seats, key steering wheel, and possibly, if I can get somebody to design me a cage that's seamless with the car, you know, obviously that's, you know, SCCA and all the race sanctioning bodies. If it's all good to go, then I'll do that. But I would love to have a cage that just basically seems like it's not there. Because you know these cars are like tin cans. But I'll see what I can do. Talk to some fabricators and see if they can, get me right with, looking good and still keep the interior and whatnot. But till then, see y'all later.